As the galaxy became a more and more dangerous place because of the threat of separatist ambush, senators and representatives of the Galactic Senate often needed a Jedi and Clone Escort to and from their diplomatic meetings. On one of these meetings, Jedi General Obi-Wan Kenobi was assigned to be the bodyguard of Representative Jar Jar Binks. As you can imagine, things didn't go very well at all. Unfortunately, Obi-Wan lost his whole squad of clone troopers just to protect Jar Jar Binks. So, was it worth it? Let's find out. Before we get into it, make sure you subscribe for more awesome Star Wars lore content. Make sure you turn that big red button down below grey, and you'll be granted the rank of Master, unlike Anakin. So the story begins aboard Obi-Wan's ship, where he is joined by Jar Jar, who asks Obi-Wan how he's feeling after their long day of diplomatic negotiations. Obi-Wan is very pleased that the negotiations are over, because they do tend to drag on, and we know Obi-Wan is not brave enough for politics. After hearing this, Jar Jar tells Obi-Wan that it's very lucky that they had each other during the negotiations, and Obi-Wan isn't too impressed with Jar Jar, telling him that it wasn't really luck. The Chancellor personally assigned Obi-Wan to be Jar Jar's bodyguard for the diplomatic negotiations so that he wouldn't be assassinated easily. Despite that, Obi-Wan was very pleased with how well the meeting went, and was surprised that Jar Jar didn't get into a fight or cause any trouble for the Republic. Strangely though, Obi-Wan hasn't seen separatist forces in quite a while now, which worries him very deeply. As Jar Jar strolls into the back of the ship, Obi-Wan spots something strange not far in front of him, before demanding that his captain do a scan on it to determine what it could be. Before the captain can even tell him, Obi-Wan knows that their ship is now under attack by droid forces, putting Jar Jar's life in severe danger, if it wasn't already for his whole life. Obi-Wan's clone captain then warns Jar Jar to hang on to something as the ride is about to get a whole lot more bumpy, but the Gungan doesn't listen to his captain's advice and goes crashing straight into the floor of the ship, badly hurting his jaw. Back in the cockpit, the clone captain declares that the ship has lost its starboard engine, and they're going to have to put the ship down on the nearest planet, no matter how harsh or dangerous it may be. While this is going on, fires rip through the main deck of the ship, and smoke is billowing through the area, but Jar Jar does absolutely nothing to help. Instead, he simply curls up into a ball and refuses to believe that the ship is really going down, clearly putting the lives of all the clone troopers on board at extreme risk, not even offering to help them. Also, make sure you give this clone captain a name in the comments down below. Bonus points if you can make it related to Gungans or Jar Jar. Following this, Obi-Wan looks to his Navi computer, which shows him that the nearest planet to their current location is around a quarter of a parsec away, which seems to be inhabited. Its name is Hoth. As their ship makes a rocky crash landing on the icy surface of Hoth below, Obi-Wan's clone troopers fight valiantly back at the droid forces above them, but they are simply outmatched in this scenario. Because of this, Obi-Wan forces Jar Jar to keep running forward, which is proving to be a bit of a struggle since Jar Jar is horribly frightened by all of the blasts and explosions going off around him. As the droid forces from the air get closer to Obi-Wan and Jar Jar, Obi-Wan ignites his lightsaber, ready to deflect any threats to the Gungan representative, but Jar Jar is completely losing it and is terrified that they are all going to die. Obi-Wan then warns the representative to keep running, but Jar Jar still can't help but think that they're all going to die in this terribly freezy place. Following this, the last of Obi-Wan's men tragically takes a blaster bolt right to the chest, killing him on the spot and marking the end of this brave clone support team. Obi-Wan then says that they were very good, loyal men, and they certainly deserved better deaths than these. Although their sole duty was to protect Representative Binks, Obi-Wan knows that these men should have had plenty more battles ahead of them. Following this, Obi-Wan manages to catch a break from the endless stream of blaster fire directed his way and perch up on a small snow hill. When he looks down, he finally discovers the horde of B-1 battle droids, who are discussing the tragic truth that all of the Republic forces appear to be destroyed, but the snow is jamming their senses, so they can't really tell. This leads Obi-Wan to sneak around the massive group of B-1 battle droids, who are all following their orders precisely, trying to gather more information on whether or not any of the Republic ships survived in order to attempt an escape. Unfortunately, however, as he is conducting this recon, Jar Jar comes running out of nowhere, shouting loudly and swinging his arms all over the place, demanding that Obi-Wan surrender to the battle droids. Obi-Wan is not happy at all with this, as he told Jar Jar to stay away from the area at all costs, because there is literally a squad of B-1 battle droids right behind him. After Jar Jar suggests that they surrender once again, Obi-Wan hilariously tells him, "Senator, despite the frosty climate, this is no time to get cold feet." Jar Jar finally agrees to go back to his hiding spot, but once he begins, he notices a large pack of Tauntauns in his way, which of course scares him off badly. Not only that, however, but Obi-Wan soon notices that there are a bunch of Wampus hunting these Tauntauns, making Jar Jar even more horrified to walk down there. Meanwhile, at the Republic crash landing site, the unit of B-1 battle droids begins scanning the area and appears to find no survivors. That is, until their commander looks through his scanner and notices 2 more bodies. this time with much more heat emanating from them and very close nearby. As the battle droids begin marching towards the location of their scan, Obi-Wan and Jar Jar are curled up in a small trench, stuck between a rock and a hard place. To their left is a ferocious pack of B-1 battle droids, ready to blast their heads off in an instant, and to their right is a hungry group of Wampers, ready to tear Jar Jar's arms off at any moment. Following this, Obi-Wan tells Jar Jar that he's sorry, but even he isn't capable of taking down a whole squad of B-1 battle droids that big alone, to which Jar Jar asks, what are we going to do? This sparks an idea in Obi-Wan's mind. Obi-Wan asks Jar Jar, have you ever done a Tauntaun impression? Jar Jar hilariously responds by asking Obi-Wan if he's getting brain freezings, wondering how on Hoth could that help. Obi-Wan then pulls Jar Jar through the thick snow right in the middle of the Wampers and B-1 battle droids, and they begin making Tauntaun communication noises. As soon as the B-1 units hear this call, they roger and move out to investigate as the living creatures on the other side do the same thing. Following this, something pretty amazing happens. The massive snow coming down, mixed with the extreme amount of creatures waving around maniacally in front of them, completely overload the ocular senses of the B-1 battle droids. The droids do however have their hearing sensors working, so they follow the direction of the noise, hoping to find the source. Jar Jar continues blasting Tauntaun noises through his mouth, which, as predicted, attracts the B-1 units right to them on the left, who want to take no prisoners, and attracts the living snow creatures on the right, which are completely savage beasts. This then allows Obi-Wan and Jar Jar to slip away into the snow, leaving the B-1 units to fight against the wild Wampers and Tauntauns, creating a massive showdown between the droids and savage creatures. Obi-Wan then saves Jar Jar's head by warning him to get down, just as a Wampa is about to strike it off of his shoulders before they sprint off of the battlefield, leaving the droids to be crushed and ripped apart. The two then sprint away from the area, and shortly after, Obi-Wan continues slicing through the B-1 battle droids in order to make his final escape. And to end the story, Obi-Wan destroys the last of the B-1 units before calling Jar Jar over and telling him to get ready to make their final escape. Obi-Wan is of course not the most confident pilot, but it certainly beats having Jar Jar behind the controls, so he knows it must be done. Finally, they steal a separatist landing craft from the surface of Hoth before jetting away from the surface and straight back into space, finally able to make their escape. Obi-Wan is very relieved, and Jar Jar still has no idea what's going on. Yeah, you can imagine how Obi-Wan probably feels after this mission. I don't think he'll be volunteering for any more bodyguard missions for Jar Jar in the future. On board, Obi-Wan tells Jar Jar that he's very lucky to be alive after this whole situation, but Jar Jar is still concerned that they are in a droid ship. Obi-Wan then tells him, well, let's just hope we can use our diplomatic skills to negotiate our way into Republic space. Last thing we need is another cold reception. Obi-Wan always coming in with the jokes. Obi-Wan also reminds Jar Jar that a whole squad of loyal clone troopers gave their lives to save him today, so he must remember that and be grateful. Make sure you let me know down below, do you think Jar Jar deserved to have a whole clone squad give their lives just to save him? I know he's a Republic representative, but he lost a whole squad of clones just to protect him, so let me know down below what you think. Thanks so much for watching, really hope you enjoyed the video. Cheers guys, hope to see you in the next one.